Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Crispy and today we are back on my last resort challenge island of, oh, I just got stuck. I don't know what that was. That was weird. Sorry. Of Mangolada. Last episode we worked on resident services, this area. And so this island is part of Crossing Maniac's Last Resort Challenge. So Stacy created a 3-month challenge and it's called the Last Resort Challenge. And so I am participating in that. And so this island is a tropical resort island. And so today what I want to do is work on the shopping district. So Nook's Cranny is going to go right here. And then stupidly I put my bridge right here when I was gonna bring the boardwalk across. So I'm gonna have to move that first. But I'm gonna go ahead and place Nook's Cranny real quick. And I'll probably just, okay, that's not where I wanted it. I'll probably just go ahead and work on Able Sisters at the same time. I'm gonna do like a souvenir shop. That was a little bit hard for me to say. I don't know why, but words are hard. So I'll probably do like a souvenir shop here. After I fix this bridge, we'll be able to go across the boardwalk to the Able Sisters. So hopefully I can get these both done today. It's not too big of an area. I just want to do like a little bit of a courtyard, maybe connecting the two areas, and maybe have some resort type clothing here and a little souvenir shop over here. So we're going to work on that and see how far we get. So for the shopping district, this did not take me very long at all. I had already kind of threw together like a fake building design beforehand, because I am not comfortable with fake buildings, and so I did, try to go to a lot of different Pinterest posts and DAs to see, what people were using, and I tried a few different ones, and I tried several different colors for the storefronts, and ultimately I decided to go with the lighter brown. I don't know if the white looked better, but the gazebo is brown. There is not a white version, so I just thought, maybe the light brown looked okay. And I found that door code, and so I decided to download it. I had like a white window code there, and I decided to delete that one just because I don't know if I'm gonna use it or not. I keep changing my codes up a little bit, but I thought this made a cute little souvenir shop. I could have just done some stalls or counters, but I just thought that the gazebo looked like a little, souvenir hut like you would see maybe on the beach or something like that. So I did go ahead and put it there, and I had the waterfall in the back. Originally, I think it was closer and smaller, but I made it a little bit bigger, and so I didn't want to completely block the view. So I thought, the rope fences kind of looked kind of like a pier, and what you would see on a pier in terms of fence. And so I just did this little souvenir shop with a few surfboards, and then I started on the Able Sisters. I did not do a whole lot of like items and furniture and clothing. I just kept it simple. I thought, simple is better sometimes. I know I'm saying that. Some of you probably don't believe me, but I do love to put the curtain partition in front of the window, because even though I had a really cute dress in the window on this day, usually when I have my Able Sisters, it you know, we'll have like a hot dog costume or something like that in the window. So I did want to cover that up. So I put that that curtain partition there to block the window, and I really love that customization code. I used it before on the hammock by my house, and at first when in a minute I will have some like poolside beds with that customization, but I decided it was a little bit too dark, and so I changed those. But now I am just filling in a little bit of the outside of the boardwalk, and I was debating on how many trees to put because I didn't want it to completely block the view of the shopping district, and so I didn't want it to be too tall, and so I went back and forth as to I'm so sorry, my dog is ready for his supper, and so he's starting to whine. He was so quiet a minute ago, but no, as soon as I start recording, he's like, ma'am, it's my supper time, you know, yeah. So anyways, I'll feed him in just a moment, I promise. But, yeah, I wanted to make sure I left a walkway here for the path, because there needs to be a path going from the resident services area that we did last time to this time. And so I ended up cutting a lot of the filler area out because I just thought it was redundant, and like I had already shown a lot of this before. And so I thought, you know what? I don't know that I want to put a bunch of trees in front of the shops, because I had planned on doing a lazy river there, and so I decided to just go ahead and build the lazy river in the same video, just because I had no idea how much space I needed. I have never built a lazy river before, so I didn't know what, you know, how much space I needed and how wide and big it was going to be. So I will come in just a moment and let you guys know that. But yeah, that's why this first little filler area, I cut a lot of it out, because I just thought that the lazy river would be more interesting to watch, and I was really excited to do it. And like I said, I'd never done a lazy river before, but I wanted to try, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough space for it. So, and I just love using that statue, especially on this tropical island. I was not able to use that on my jungle island. So anyways, this is about the end of the little filler area here, and then we will get to the lazy river build. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the little shopping district. Alright, I'm back, and it is the next day, and I have started putting some yellow and more orange flowers into the mix. I have like 13 flowers on this island, so it's a lot, but yeah, no regrets. So this area with the shopping district, it took me like no time at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead, and since I had already planned on doing my lazy river around this, and I don't want to put any more decorations in front here until I know for sure that I don't need this space for the lazy river, I'm just gonna go ahead and start on the lazy river. So I'm just gonna attach it to the end of this video, and we'll do a two-part build video. So let's get started with that. And now it is time for the second build. I was so excited about doing the lazy river, and I did leave most of the actual lazy river in. I just cut some of the the part out where I lay the boardwalk and just do some of the filler area around the outside. But you can see here that I only had 3 or 4 rows to work with in terms of like the space between the bushes and the flowers and the lazy river. So originally I had put this down as 3 wide, but then I did decide to come back and make it 2 wide. I had to kind of put some of it down before I knew how wide I wanted it, and I did speed this up quite a bit just because, you know, it's path laying and that does take quite a bit of time. But I just left it in case, you know, people are wondering if they want to do a lazy river on their island, you know, how a 3 wide lazy river looks versus a 2 wide lazy river. I did have to put one of the little floaties down before I knew for sure if it was going to work, just doing a 2 wide. You know, some people like more chunky paths and some people like more narrow paths, and both are fine, and I do think it looks okay. I just thought in the moment maybe it should be a little bit narrower. So I ended up switching it out, but this is where I just decide, you know, I'm gonna try a 2 wide path and see how it looks. And I was like, yep, that fits just fine. I just wanted there to be some space around for some flowers and bushes and filler, and so that is why I ended up changing it. And I did make it a little bit windy. It was definitely a different path that I haven't used before, and I wasn't quite sure how to use, but I think I got there okay in the end. It just took some trial and error. So I am pretty happy with how this build came out, and it was so much fun to do. And a lot of my villagers were coming around, and they were so cute interacting with all of this stuff. And so you'll see that in just a moment. But also, Bud was being so dramatic. I could not believe it. I was like, seriously, as soon as I start building, you're going to be dramatic. They pick the most inopportune times to be dramatic, right? Like when you're doing an island tour, or when you're doing a build and you press record and then they're like, wait, let's be dramatic. So anyways, I did just ignore him because he's not going anywhere. But I am happy that I decided to put more colors and flower options on this island, but it is so many. And that life ring, I'm not sure if it's red or orange, so can you let me know? Because if it's orange, it's definitely a dark orange. And so I wasn't sure. I didn't want a red life ring. I wanted an orange life ring. So it looked kind of dark orange, so hopefully it is. But yeah, I couldn't tell. And I wanted a mixture of both, but maybe it would have been better to just have a bunch of inflatable, floaty bird thingies, however you say it. I don't know. I like them both. I think they're both really cute, and I liked putting a mixture of both, but they didn't exactly have the color options that I wanted, and I decided to put another one of those statues in here because I really liked how they looked very tiki and tropical and Hawaiian kind of. I don't know. Maybe this island is more Hawaiian inspired. I have been to Oahu and to Maui before, and I've actually never been to the Maldives. So I'm glad that I decided to change up my design and idea for this island, because even though I'd love to visit the Maldives, I never have, so I have no idea how they look, but I have at least been to Maui and to Hawaii before, to Oahu, so yeah. But I also wasn't sure exactly what decor to put around, so I did play around with it a little bit, but I was, it was a little bit of trial and error, but I wanted it to be as close to what you would see at a lazy river, as I could, as realistic as I could. And so I put some flamingos around and some of those little statues around, and Tangy is walking around looking so cute. I have some cute villagers. I'm really happy with the villager options that I chose. Some of them, like Flora, I've never been able to have before, so I was really happy that I was able to get some for this island. And so now I'm just filling in the area on the inside of the lazy river. I wasn't sure exactly how much to put in that little filler space, but look at Tangy. Oh my gosh, she is so cute, sitting on the little life ring. Villagers are so cute sometimes. Sometimes they do get in your way and they can be frustrating, but sometimes they're just so adorable. I do love my villagers a lot. But now I'm just going to put a little code down and place a little rock head statue. I wasn't sure whether I should face it forward or backwards, because it kind of looks like a rock facing backwards, but I just decided to leave it forwards. Yeah, I don't know which one looks better, but it's fine. And so I'm just filling up the rest of the waterfall up here on the top, and I actually did, no joke, have to call rescue services twice because I got stuck and I kind of decorated myself into a corner and I could not get out. So that was a thing, but that's okay. It was 200 miles well spent. And so yeah, now I'm just filling in the rest of the waterfall area, and then I'm going to start putting in the little Cosmo showers. I thought they were a great touch because when you go to a lazy river, a lot of times they do have like something that sprays you as you float by, and so I thought of that and I thought that was a cute addition to the build, so I tried to put a few of those in there. And I did decide that the peach tree was a bit too tall, so I switched it out for a large hardwood tree, and that was still kind of too tall, so I did end up switching that out for just some bushes and more flamingos in the end. And then I decided to add a few of these little arches, the shell arches, because I thought, when you go down a lazy river, sometimes you go underneath arches or tunnels or whatever. And look at Flora, she's sitting on a little life ring and she's adorable. They were just being so cute. She had the zoomies and it was adorable. But now I'm just putting down the boardwalk code so that I can place down some poolside beds, and I did cut most of that out, but I decided to lay down in the poolside bed because I wasn't sure if it was facing the right direction. Sometimes it's hard to tell if they're facing forward or backward, and depending on which way you stand, if you place them to the right or if you place them to the left, they go, you know, a different way. So anyways, I also decided that I wanted a lighter color fabric on those, so I switched those out for a more teal light colored fabric, and I do really like it a lot better. Even though I like that fabric code, it just seemed a little bit too dark, so I did switch that one out. But I just did a mixture of the poolside beds and some beach chairs with parasols, or however you say it, and I decided to take that tiki torch out because I was afraid you wouldn't be able to walk through there. But this build is really coming along, and I was really enjoying it. It was a really fun build to do, and probably the most fun that I've had on this island so far. And so I was really happy that I got to do it. And I've never really used the beach parasols or those little floaty bird thingies, whatever they're called. So I'm glad that I got to use them and had a theme that they actually went with. Some people, you know, put them on their beaches anyway, so that is totally fine as well. They are a beachy item, but I did just fill in around the outside of the boardwalk off camera, and so now I'm just doing a little seating area, and you can see there is not much space to work with, but I thought a seating area made sense beside the lazy river and the shopping district. So I just did a few beach, not beach, parasol, the bistro tables, that's it, and chairs. And so yeah, this is pretty much the end of this build, and so I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. Alright, we are back and finished, and I set it to the golden hour because I'm still trying to decide if I want the golden hour for the DA or if I want early morning. I think maybe the golden hour. I love this music, I love the sunset. I did fill in a lot of this area off camera because it was so much filler area. I even extended this cliff here just to fill in some space, and there was so much like tree placing and flower placing and bush placing that I cut some of it out so that I could do 2 builds in one video and it would be more interesting. But this is our little souvenir shop. I wasn't sure if I wanted the storefronts to be white or this lighter brown color. But the gazebo does not come in white, so I don't know, maybe that's a good color for it. And so I just thought in a souvenir shop you might have, you know, a stuffed animal with the island, you know, name or flag or whatever on it, and then a decorative plate and some other souvenirs like a snow globe, you know, or little ship in a bottle. And I put a few surfboards back here. I thought it was fitting. I didn't want to cover up the waterfall too much, so I put a bench over here, and there's a little hula doll, and then just a little hat and a stack of clothes over here. I thought about placing some clothes here, but then of course you couldn't get to the bench, so I don't know if that was the right choice or not. But I really struggled with what to put here in front. I thought about trees, but I didn't want it to block the view of the shopping area. So I just did a whole bunch of bushes and flowers, and then I have a seating area here. And here is the finished lazy river. So you can still get through here and maneuver your way. I thought it was so adorable how my villagers kept sitting on all the little inflatables. But yeah, I really like the custom design on the pool bed better than the dark orange one. I just think the lighter color of blue goes better with this water code. And I filled in a path going to the beach because of course you're gonna have to get to the beach at some point, and I didn't want to block the walkway, so I didn't put anything here, and you can still get around okay. And it goes all the way back up to the shopping area. So I just thought these little shell archways were fun and might go on a lazy river, and I also thought these little Cosmo showers were fun. And you know, when you go down a lazy river, a lot of times you do have water that's spraying you, so I thought that was fitting. So yeah, I really am happy with how this came out. It was a huge area again, but it was a lot of filler, and so I just decided that I would stick it on the end of the shopping build because that did not take me long at all, and I did not know how to fill in this area without knowing how big, you know, my lazy river was going to be, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it 3 wide or 2 wide. So anyways, this is how it came out. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my members, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone.